And we're on, Tom.
Here, America. All right. We are back. Coming Home podcast. It's been a couple weeks. We've been traveling. We've been on the road. We've been enjoying the summer. Thanks to our YouTube viewers right now who are watching live. You can do that on the Count the Dings feed. Trey, it's good to be back, man. We got a gold. We got lots of golds, 40 golds at the Olympics. Both men's and women's teams brought home the gold over France. And we have a new tagline, new motto, new I don't know, two-word phrase that are going to live in infamy.
What is that?
Nuit Nuit? How to pronounce that, Maze? Help me out.
That's pretty good. I mean, you got to hit that T a little softer. It's Nuit Nuit.
Nuit Nuit. Night night in French.
Eh.
Eh.
I'm
You think France should still be awake?
No, I mean, sure. That's the thing. Just translate it.
Yeah. Well, Steph Curry had a hoodie made before the game, I guess, because he was wearing it after the game when he put the Frenchman to sleep. And I got to say, that was top 5, maybe top 3 all-time performance from Steph Curry, which is saying a lot for a guy who has MVPs, championships, countless iconic moments at Davidson and in the NBA. So, Trey, this is Monday. The closing ceremony is done. We're going to get into Raygun, the Rachel, the break dancer.
Rachel Gunn.
Who, she's I think that might be the A block. We could do the A block, but we're going to save it for later. We're going to talk about LA 2028. I watched the closing ceremony a little bit and had some thoughts there. But we'll start with Steph Curry and LeBron and the Avengers bringing home gold. I could not believe that it took a 15-point rally against Serbia in the silver game or in the semifinal game. And then we had a vintage Steph Curry performance. It was theatrical. It was all those things. But Trey, now that it's 2 days after that game, what are your thoughts after 48 hours after the shot or the shots?
I really didn't. You know what's crazy? I still was on a high from the Serbia game. I didn't really care too much about the last game. Like, it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was hard to, like, I don't know. I felt like the France matchup was way more easier, to be honest, despite it being closer than what it was. Like, but it wasn't like, oh, I felt like they were a true threat. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like the true game, you know how you like the road to the championship and it's that one tough game where you're like, that could have been the final. Like, that was the Serbia joint for me because it was so like, it had took all the energy out of me. You feel me? Like, the one time that I'm truly a fan and I really wanted to, like, I felt something like, yo, we potentially could lose this. There is a fear of loss, like, truly, like, yo, whatever it is, look each other in the eye. Let's focus for these last 10 possessions and win this thing. That was like, you can't replicate that. Cool, the French joint, they competed, but like, I didn't think of like, like, yo, they gonna get us, or I'm worried about Wemby. You know what I mean? Like, because he had been like decent.
Yeah, he was good, but not great.
He had been like all team worthy for the Olympic tournament, right? But when you think about pure dominance, I didn't see it until like the matchup against USA, where it was like, oh, he gets to play his style of game. It's a little bit more open floor. He's going to get the shots. Everybody's not going to kind of strategically try to defend and take him out of his game, which other countries coach that way to not let him go off. But in the USA game, it was like, that's the Wemby we wanted to see all tournament. You know what I mean? So the games was a little bit closer. And then you got, was it how you say my name?
Yabusele.
Yabusele. Yabusele, right? Yabusele, he showed up. You know what I mean? NBA guy. You know what I mean? From
Wants to
know,
get back.
he's going to get back. He got bought out. Like, the hype is real. The one thing about that stuff is, like, I don't never buy the Olympic stuff, the Olympic hype, right? The only people that come back great are the USA guys. They come back inspired. They come back knowing how to win, especially if guys have, like, played on shitty teams. The only person I can't vouch for is Zach LaVine. But I will say that certain guys come back with leadership skills, and
Understand what it takes to be great at that level,
but
right?
also become coachable, and also are willing to do the dirty things now that they probably were kind of pushing back as the leader of their team or the main guy. Like, I'll just score. Now you got Devin Booker now wanting to, like, okay, I know what it takes to, like, play defense. And he kind of brought that back with, to the Suns. That one time they went to the finals with Monty. He learned how to play the game. And that's the thing. I got a chance to watch Bones Highlands play yesterday at Pro City for Nike. And some spectator was next to me, and he's like, yo, I'm cool with Bones' uncle, etc. And Bones is great. And I was like, he's a good player, can score, but he doesn't know how to play the game. And it sounded so wild to say that, because you think basketball is just about scoring baskets. You know what I mean?
Jason
Like,
Tatum would have been playing and starting a lot more if it was about that.
And that is the whole beauty of Olympic basketball in general, is like common sense. Most people think they could coach from the couch and say, yo, I could do Steve Kerr's job, when you have a plethora of talent. Because again, you want to realistically treat it like a park league and say, yo, let's sub in 5 in, 5 out. Let's get everybody some touches. When that's not the flow of the thing, because those preliminary games are to get a feel of who I'm going to actually play in a rotation. Also, there's practices, there's open communication. These are the things that, like, it's not like, why isn't he playing? There is a conversation every single day with the staff. Hey, you know what? We're trying to get you in there, but we're bringing Kevin Durant off the bench. LeBron has a guaranteed starting spot, and that's going to kind of mess with your minutes. And sometimes you're going to see LeBron James isn't technically the small forward or the power forward on the floor. He's the point guard. He's the primary point guard, and Steph Curry is the primary 2. But he's listed as a point guard. So that alters your minutes, brother. You know what I mean? When Kevin Durant gets into the starting lineup for the gold medal game, you know who gets to play? Jason Tatum. You know what? Because it's restored. The lineup's restored. The thing is, you don't have to play the thing. The only question I have is why Derek White played so much. You get what I'm saying? He played defense. He played these things.
That's it.
But
That's it. It's you need guys who can fill that role player, be happy in that role player, do all the dirty work. And I will say, Devin Booker, I'm glad Steve Kerr mentioned that before his press conference was over. So I just wanted to mention, no one asked about D-Book, but he was our unsung MVP. What I liked about his game was on the off-ball cuts, and the willingness to move without the ball is something that a lot of guys who score 30 points a game, who are ball dominant, got the ball in their hands all the time, they're not willing to do that a lot of times. James Harden, Trae Young, but Devin Booker's willing to do that for Team USA, and it opens up so much more for LeBron and KD when you got Book moving off the ball, and that's so key, because Jason Tatum, the ball gets a lot stickier in his hands in ways that it doesn't with Book. Book's getting that shot up, he's keeping it moving, he's moving off the ball.
School of Joe Johnson. This is ISO Joe mode. You know what I mean? Like, I got to have it. I don't, hey, I got to dribble the leather off this thing really quick. I'm going to, eat some of the clock. But sorry to cut your, your explanation off. But there was one thing also that stuck out to
Derek
me.
White, you're saying Derek White, you were wondering why he played so much. And I just feel like when you have so many of the ball dominant guys and playmakers and the shooters roles already lined up, you don't need another Jaylen Brown or a Jason Tatum. You need a Derek White. And so I think a lot of that is the energy it takes to guard in FIBA basketball is a little bit different. And I think that's why Derek White got more minutes.
The thing too, it's so funny I have to quote this, but Nick Young was very brilliant with his corner boy analogy, because it is very true. Like, there's so many, like, Derek White's okay. That's why he's a star in his role, because he's been a corner boy. He gets it. Devin Booker has been a corner boy before. You know what I mean? Like, there's some guys that have never been the corner. Even Kevin Durant has been a corner. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, he played for Monty Williams, and Monty Williams was treating him like a corner. Guys know it's actually to your favor if you've actually been someone who actually has to wait through a sequence of an offense being ran, and you only going to touch the ball at certain points. Steve Kerr was using Kevin Durant as a corner. You know what I mean? Like, those certain scenarios where you're just not initiated as the first option, and some guys don't know how to handle that. That's like sharing. That's like having your cousins over and you have to share your toys. And you're like, bro, no, this is my house. I don't got the first controller. This is my controller. I play first and then you watch. You know what I mean? So, like, now the idea that, yo, I'm on the floor. I know I'm on the floor with Bron. I respect Bron. I know I'm on the floor with KD. I respect KD. But then you get to Anthony Edwards, who's on the second unit, and he's just going 1-on-5. And you're like, Now, people who never seen him before, say if that was your first time watching, you'd be like, he don't know how to play the game. He don't get it. Not knowing on his team, he is everything to his team. You know what I mean? But USA basketball makes you look like you do not know how to play basketball sometimes, because you are in an awkward situation. I've been in a scenario where I was on the floor with two professional guards, but I'm the true point guard of both of the three. You know what I mean? They shoot the ball way more than me, and I am the corner. Hey, Trey, hit the short corner. Hey, Trey, go up, elevate. Hey, Trey, set the back screen. And I'm like, I'm not a small forward. I'm not.
But there's also this other thing is ego. You're not wanting to step on anybody's toes, but you also want to assert yourself. You've got a lot of money on the line, is just like shoe deals, endorsements, and you're in Paris, and you've got a lot on your shoulders, feeling like I got to show, I gotta represent. And when you're on that lineup, maybe your way of contributing to the team is just doing all the dirty work. And that's such a hard thing for guys who are programmed and conditioned to be an alpha, in the sense of like high usage rate, ball dominant, run the offense through me. It's such an adjustment. And you're balancing all these egos. Like, this is the Avengers team. This is about LeBron. This is about Steph. This is about KD, and Steph winning his first Olympic gold. And all that juggling is what I think is tough for a lot of guys. And I'll just say this. I'm going to get this out now. I think LeBron, KD, and Steph are going to be back.
I'm telling you now, it's not happening.
I'm saying, if this was if this was a Team USA or an Olympics game that was in Europe or Asia or another continent, I would say, you know what? They're done. It's a lot of travel. It's a lot of stress on the body. But since it's coming back to LA, and there's going to be all sorts of storylines about Team USA and LeBron and Steph and KD and how they did in 24, I think they're going to be back. They're too good right now for them not to be back. They were the best players on the floor, hands down, for Team USA this year. This is not like 92, where Larry Bird could barely move, where Magic Johnson was on his last legs too. This is about the three guys who were the best players on this team that closed it out. I think they're going to be back.
So just to be clear, Tom,
I'm just telling you right now, it's not
39-year-old KD, a 40-year-old Steph, and a 43-year-old LeBron James. You're rolling them out.
Get off my TV.
Yep. They're going to
get off my TV, please.
They'll be back. They're going to be back.
That is an ultimate after reaction. We got 4 years to go.
Hey, you know the crazy thing about it? I was in my group chat, and I'm just like throwing these names out of like who is in and who's not. So I'm striking through guys. And I left K on there.
He's going to be back.
He's like, I'm not going to be there. The Magic Johnson meme.
They're too good right now. LeBron was the MVP of the Olympics.
Now. Emphasis on right now. 4 years is a long time, Tom.
It's a long time, but have you seen the way these guys are aging? You talk to Steph's people, LeBron's people, they're still at an all-NBA level now.
I'm going to be honest with you. We got 2 more years of LeBron.
When they come back to LA, LeBron's going to be a part of it.
LeBron might be coaching.
Hey, you know who? Please, Lord, no. Lord, please, no. we got our guy Spo, which
You think?
you
All
know
right.
that-
So you think Spo's gonna take it because Ty Lue's there, but I'm voting for Spo. But
I mean that's the cards say. I don't know. That's what you're saying right now. But I will say this: new guys, Paolo Banchero, Chet Holmgren, Trae Young, finally, Zion Williamson,
Trey Young finally.
Trae
Oh,
Young. They
man.
need 3-point shooting, bro.
Yeah.
And I would say most people are leaning towards Jalen Brunson, but I wouldn't rule out Ja Morant.
all right. Well, Ja Morant, Zion. I'll wait 4 years. It's funny for me being like, LeBron's gonna be back, Steph's gonna be back in 4
Tom
years,
needs more
but I'm
time
not
for
willing
the
to.
young guys that have had some troubles in the past, but the old guys, bring them back.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
man,
How many
hashtag
championships
narratives.
does Zion have? How many Finals MVP does Ja Morant have? So, I'm just saying. I'm just
Forgot
saying.
You know
a name.
4
what?
years
Forgot
from
a
now,
name,
Ja-
Tom.
Hey,
Forgot
I
a
keep
name.
forgetting. Right, shout out to Jerv. I keep
Tyrese
thinking
Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey has to be in the mix. He has
All
to
right.
be in the mix.
It-
I just have this weird contract thing when I hate when young guys get the contract. So he gotta,
Gotta earn.
you know what I mean? He
All right.
gotta show me.
Here's
But y'all coming
Kevin,
back with vengeance. I'm gonna tell you that now.
the machine. Kevin Pelton over at ESPN. He filled out his roster for the 28 Olympics team. He acknowledged that LeBron, KD, and Steph have all but closed the door on 28. But I'm gonna say they're gonna be back. So he says there's gonna be 5. He says there's gonna be 5 slots open because of those 3 gonna be out. Derek White and Drew Holiday are gonna hang him up from Olympic play. So who are the 5 guys to replace those 5 that are gonna be out? He named Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Chet Holmgren, J-Dub, Jalen Williams, and Paolo Banchero. Those are the 5 slots. He says apologies to Scotty Barnes, Jaylen Brown, Cade Cunningham, Cooper Flagg, Ja Morant, Jalen Suggs, De'Aaron Fox, Brandon Miller, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Trey Murphy III, and Zion Williamson, who he says, let's see about his injuries and what kind of shape he's in 4 years. So those are the 5 that he's putting in: Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Chet Holmgren, J-Dub, and Banchero. The only one I was surprised to see on that list, honestly, was Jalen Williams. Was like, ooh, okay, all right.
That's high hopes. High hopes. I like him.
I mean,
Like him a
doesn't it bank more on guys like Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker and Tatum?
Yes, but
being
Tatum
the
Tatum
key
kind of
pieces?
feels like
It's gonna be tough for them to start when LeBron and Steph and KD are starting. So it's just weird.
We know, Tom. Can we imagine a world that's where the old guys actually sit down? Can we just?
Okay.
I know you don't think it's going to happen, but let's, for the sake of this conversation, let's pretend like 43-year-old LeBron James isn't going to be there. we need Anthony Edwards to step up and be that dude. We need Devin Booker to step up and be that dude and carry the team.
Yeah.
LeBron, free us of it, please. Free us of this. Did you see Stephon
Did
Marbury?
we medal
go
last
off
time
right
LeBron
away?
didn't play? Like in the
Steph
World
Marbury
Cup.
was having the time
You
of
said,
his
did we
life.
medal? Hell yeah, we medaled.
In World Cup when those guys didn't. Well, I know KD won it in Tokyo the last time out, but I'm just saying when we have Ant Edwards and not Jalen Brunson, but those guys, the next crew coming through, they fell apart. So
yeah, I mean, look, work in progress. They got to understand. The good thing is guys like Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton actually got some reps. You know what I mean? In those things, they're going to be a little bit more experienced. The real thing is Grant Hill fixing this shit with Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? They're going to have to like
the
pull
brotherhood.
they're going to have to pull out the Joel Embiid treatment of like, yo, you get the guarantee start. You know, you get to do this, you get to do that. And hey, we really apologize for the things that is happening. You know, like that was unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna have to do that. And it sucks because like Jason Tatum was supposed to be the guy before LeBron signed on. Because he was supposed to be handing it over like, yo, I'm gonna be starting alongside KD for this last one. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be doing this, you know what I mean? And passing the torch and becoming that guy, you know, and all we caught him wearing was Kobe's jersey and sitting on the bench moping. It was
Awkward.
sad. And his mom even chimed in. It got to that point which was kind of like even the worst thing because you don't want that to happen. Like, oh, you're gonna call your mommy. George Karl even chimed in and said that, and I was like, that's not the best person to chime in on that. But yeah, Tom, I do not want those old people at the Olympics. And I'm just more confused on how LA is going to even handle this shit. They're talking about no traffic.
Yeah.
No car zone for fucking 14, 16 days. Good luck. You know how
That's
many people,
crazy.
businesses is going to lose money? That shit is going to bankrupt the city, bruh. Like, not bankrupt the city. I guess it's a hand in hand, but like, where does the money actually go? I don't know. I don't really know that thing of like, yes, the city gets paid a certain amount, but what about the small businesses that intersect that have to, like, for them to get to wherever they need to go? Like, do they shut down their business? Do they get a stipend for the 2 weeks that their business is shut down because there's going to be no cars? You know how crazy that sounds in LA when the city relies on cars and pollution? Like, what?
Yeah,
And I guess some of the stuff is going to be in like Long Beach too, which was odd. You seen that? So is it like LA? So is it the LA County Olympics?
Well, it's probably like how they had the surfing in Tahiti. It's like they need the venues for certain events. Like Long Beach might be beach volleyball or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, they might just split up some of the lesser events off to outer areas.
I would also say Tatum, for just to go back to Tatum for a second, he didn't earn playing time on this. Like when he did play, it was not pretty. It wasn't like, I think he went 0 for 14 on jumpers in the Olympic play. Didn't hit a shot. So Jason Tatum, does he deserve an apology from Grant Hill? I don't think so.
No, but Trey's saying that Grant Hill has to like kiss his ass.
Control. He had to damage control
to get him in a good position for 28 when he does need to be the guy shooting a lot more.
When they asked him, he couldn't answer it. And usually people come off a gold medal like, hell yeah, I'll be back. You know, like for sure. It was just kind of like, and then he's like, somebody's like, oh, Vince Staples just kind of like, hey, we need to avenge Jason Tatum. And he shares it on his story. And I'm like, okay, you're not hiding this well. You're not hiding this. Your feelings are truly poured into this social media thing. And you can't say like, oh, I thought it was funny, so I shared it. You know what I mean? So I guess Venice Beach would be, Venice Beach 3-on-3 would be crazy. Listen, Venice Beach 3-on-3 would be fire.
We'd have to send a real team. We can't run Jimmer.
Well, we don't have a choice.
Barry back.
I was asking about this, right? Because I was joking and I was asking CJ McCollum, would he actually participate? And he was like, hell yeah, I would do it. My guys from Lehigh participate in 3-on-3s all the time, yada, yada, yada. By that time, I guess I'll be at this point. And then someone came in and just, hi-ya! No, that's not how it works, because in season, that's when they're competing to qualify. So who would be, for guys, y'all know overseas guys and guys that are, you know, journeymen that are not playing right now, that are in the league. Which 3 would you send to represent the country in 28? I see names like Joe Johnson, Mike Beasley.
I mean, Beasley would be fun.
Even Mike James chimed in and said he would if someone asked him, he would play.
I think Ice Cube was a little too aggressive when he called out Adam Silver for essentially not sending our best team. But I think why not send the guy who runs a 3-on-3 league year round, develop the team to send to the Olympics? That just makes a lot of sense to me. Like, you could make it an all-star team of big 3 guys. You can make it just one of the big 3 teams and send them out there because they have the chemistry. I think that would be cool.
The official form system of the USA basketball. And like maybe the champions go represent.
Yeah, why not?
That would be cool.
Like the year 2023, the Big 3 championship represent the US in the Olympics. I think that'd be dope.
That'd be cool.
The worry there is that our best guys are going to be over the hill, not like young guys who can
for sure.
But I had a decent amount though. I said the guy Damn, can't even think of it. Frank
Kaminsky?
from no. They played at Weber State. Frank Sessions. And then
But
I had
they purposely make the 3-on-3 a non-NBA event. Like they don't.
well,
They
these are
want,
non-NBA guys. That's what I'm saying. Like these are guys that are at the crib. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I would like it that way of like, yo, they still got professionals that played overseas. You know what I mean? They're still sending guys. So I don't know who would actually be our like. Could Jamal Crawford go?
I was thinking about that name.
Because he could play half court.
Yeah.
Somebody asked him how much he think he would score right now, and I was like, I honestly think you can score 28 at 43, just because you're still 6'5", you still can get your shot off. You don't have to beat anybody off the dribble. You actually make shots, bruh. And I think he can get 28 points. Not average 28 points, but I think he could get 28 points if they allowed him. Say if all the players were hurt on some replacement shit, and they say, all right, Jamal, it's you and 4 scrubs. He can get 28 points. Kobe style.
Yo Mike just nominated Kemba as someone who would play in 3-on-3. I like that name. He's also just hired to the Charlotte Hornets coaching staff. So shouts to Kemba.
Love
With
to
all
Kemba,
these guys,
but Kemba
though,
knee is just cooked.
I'm just saying, with all these guys, we need someone to actually play defense because, Jamal Crawford, Kemba, Mike Beasley, like these are all great names. Offensively, I just don't know who's going to grind and stop anybody.
Well, that was the idea with Jimmer, was that Jimmer was going to be our offensive fire hose. And guess what? It didn't really work out. And he messed up his groin, and it was all bad, and we didn't defend. So it happened quick. I think as long as they concentrate on it and they put an effort into finding the talent and practicing up to the tournament, I think they could do a lot better. I think it'd be easier to do better.
And honestly, it's going to come to the politics of it. Is Ice Cube and Adam Silver having to?
We need the commissioners to sit down. We need to break bread. We need to squash the beef between Ice Cube and Adam Silver. That's really important.
Priority number one.
It's in LA, man. You're going to keep Ice Cube out of LA in 2028. He's going to be active in the streets. He's going to be around, letting people know that he didn't have his hands on the 3-on-3 team.
My favorite part of that closing ceremony was after Dr. Dre and Snoop did the next episode. And you usually have, after the song, Nate Dogg comes in and he just says, "Smoke weed every day." And for whatever reason, Jimmy Fallon comes in and goes, "Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre." I was like, did he need to do the Nate Dogg carry out? I was like,
Jimmy Fallon as the NBC ambassador in the celebrity row. It's like Stephon Marbury, Carmelo Anthony, Scottie Pippen, and Jimmy Fallon.
There's so many times where Jimmy Fallon was trying to like dap up Melo and the rest of the guys, and they were just like, nah, dude, I'm good. And Jimmy Fallon's like the little kid trying to like get on daddy's shoulders, like, hey. And I'm just like, Jimmy, just relax, bro. Just relax. Enjoy it.
Speaking of Scottie Pippen, bro, when did he become like a meme coin account?
Oh, we talked about that. I think it was 2 weeks ago, but he had the whole Game 5 ball crypto disaster. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough seeing Scottie, what he's promoting on social media, talking about the founder of Bitcoin came to him in a dream. And then he's also showing up to the Olympics. It's like, oh, okay. All right. I wish it could just be that, but yeah, the cryptocurrency angle for Scottie has been a tough one.
That is tough. And seeing Stephon Marbury and Scottie Pippen together just felt a little perfect. It was just like, wow, these are the guys we're sending over to sit courtside. And it got me to the point where like, did they have to like campaign to sit courtside, or was it just like, I'm Stephon Marbury and Scottie Pippen? Like, how did that happen?
Tom? You said we sent him. I don't think we sent him.
Yeah, but how did he get courtside seats?
I think the people that were sent were Powell and Dirk, the European delegation, sitting very nicely next to each other, talking about the glory days. And then I think Melo is all in on Team USA, everything. He's just going to be there. I don't like Steph, Scottie Pippen. I'm not
Yo,
sure. I think they
we
just wanted to go. Why
we
wasn't
didn't talk
Draymond in
about
that row?
Yeah, well, low key, that was the coolest part of that Steph Night Night photo was there was a shot from the stands, and there's this dude who's got his arms out like this in like that in the stands, and I was like, oh man, that is such a cool photo, and I had no idea that it was actually Draymond's arms that was widespread like that with Steph Curry in like the background, not in the background, but the not the foreground, whatever. It was a really cool shot. And of all the moments of Steph Curry, yeah, not this shot, but there was one taken from the stands. There was like a Getty Images from the stands, a professional shot. But there's Stephon Marbury where
there's
he did have a
Steph
good,
Marbury, there's Carmelo, and guess who? Jimmy Fallon, right behind Carmelo.
there's yep. And there's
I'll pull
Sha'Carri
up the other
right
one
behind.
in a second. Yeah, this is Draymond right here.
Yeah, Mellow, man. That is awesome.
There's your Draymond.
There's Draymond. Yep. There it is. That's cool. Where was he? Was he like 10 rows up? Was he like 3 rows up? Do we know? Draymond?
A couple rows back. I mean, he was trying to get as close to Rudy as he could.
However, I thought it was good placement for that photo. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Not staged, but it was good placement.
Keep your third eye open, Trey, is what you're trying to say.
The irony of him hitting the shot, turning that way, and the cameraman catching it while Trey's doing that.
Crazy. To turn down wide open KD and LeBron and to do a fadeaway 30-footer over 2 dudes. I think it touched the ceiling. It went so high. And bam, that was an incredible shot. I scared my daughters. They were in the other room working on bracelets, and I screamed so loud that my 4-year-old started crying because she got scared. I scared her watching it in the other room. So I was hyped for it. I know, Trey, you weren't. You were more hyped for Serbia. I totally get that. But Steph, that was a classic Steph Inferno flamethrower moment, hitting 4 threes in the final 2 minutes. Apparently the only second time he's done that, hitting that many threes in that late stage of the game. I don't think people quite realize.
The other one was Game 3, 2015 Finals. The Warriors Twitter account posted that. Not nearly as dramatic. I think they were down for every single 3 that he hit. And it was kind of like desperation, him trying to get back in the game. Whereas this was, I'm putting you down. I'm the one in charge here.
17 threes in the last 2 games. So he was averaging 7 points a game going into the semifinals, and then he averages 30 at 36 in the semifinal against Serbia and 24 with just 8 threes. There are no twos, just 8 threes. 8 of 12 from downtown. He averaged 30 points in the final 2 games.
17
I think
for 26 on threes, Tom.
Insane. And he did it all in a 40-minute game. So 17 threes in 63 minutes played. So he played 30 in the first game in Serbia, and then against Serbia, and 33 in the final. This isn't a 48-minute game where he's making 17 threes. So his most in a 2-game span in the NBA is 22 threes. But those are in overtime games. He's playing in like 53-minute games. This was a 40-minute game, both of them, where he's hitting 9 threes in the semi and then 8 of 12 in the final. So shout out to Steph Curry for bringing it on home. And KD had some huge shots. LeBron, obviously, the Serbia. We didn't talk about this, but we should just, before we move on, Bogdan Bogdanović with the Melo Celly, basically looking at Carmelo Anthony courtside, all-time backfire.
I addressed it where it was saying that there's 2 ways to look at it. There was the homage, and then there's also like heat of the battle, taunting, sticking it to your guys. But He's been doing it since SAC, doing it since Atlanta. This is his thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is his thing.
I loved it.
This is
loved it.
homage to
Just it
Melo. He
backfired.
really loves it. I don't know if it backfired. I think it was just like, yo, I'm playing in front of my favorite player. I'm also cashing and cooking, and I'm not going to stop it. I don't think it initiated anything. I think Bron probably used it as a fuel and be like, all right, you know, when they're shooting the duck. But then again, I don't think it backfired.
LeBron
I think he
crushed him at the end there. Once
It's not-
once that started happening, he went at him every time.
I mean,
every time.
But I think this is getting you off the conversation of being the clutch pusher, right? You're now, well, no, you actually still are pushing
Mm-hmm.
the agenda for
Yep.
clutch.
He's still
but
carrying the water. Don't worry.
when the documentary comes out, that's going to be used as like, he should have never did that to my boy Melo, the three to the head. When it was just like, nah, bro, I'm aware when I hit threes, I do it because Melo's my guy. You know what I mean? And that's why even Melo posted on Instagram like, yo, much respect. You feel me in that situation? After Bill Simmons did a good job at explaining the last 10 possessions about after Jokic 3 miss and how they locked in and they scored and scored and scored and scored and scored. Yeah, they just ran out of gas and they were playing not to lose. It's a difference of like when you got a big lead on somebody and you know you shouldn't be up. And now you're playing to like, yo, how much minutes we got? And you know that time is moving slower than you thought it would be. When you're like, damn, we're kind of up 10, but like this 10 ain't really realistic. This 15 ain't realistic. If they were up probably 25, we're not winning this game. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that that makes it such a beauty, especially in the Steph Curry 3-point era, is that people are able to eat those leads alive. We've seen NBA leads get devoured. Like, there's no such thing as 15 out of reach, pull a bench and wave the white flag. Like, this is a very doable thing.
Yeah.
Like when they came down to they were happy about being down 11.5. Like getting it to that point. And if you can get to that point of like, oh, we're in the mix and we're not on the back end of 15, 16. And they did get to that point because of stupid ass subs. And that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But
it's crazy.
One of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen.
I mean, because since I get paid so much by Clutch, apparently I gotta mention this. Jason Tim, shout out to Jason for this stat. LeBron shot 27 of 30 at the rim in the Olympics. 27 of 30, and the fact that he is the one who has gas left in the tank in the final 5 minutes of the Serbia game is insane. So he's taken it to the Serbia team, much younger, doesn't have the mileage on their tires. And LeBron's the one who's going to take it to the rack. Also, we'll point out, Steph and LeBron were playing with their food at the end of the France game. What was those turnovers at the end? I was sweating. You might have thought the game was.
What Trey was talking about is the France game. Like, the reason that it was close is because the USA was kind of sloppy until Steph went absolutely crazy at the end. Like, there's some bad turnovers. They were kind of letting them back into it. It was like the Serbia game. They had to clamp up, play defense, and actually stop Serbia from making shots. And we joke about this all the time on the Wednesday pod with Zach and Waz about the Rui Hachimura on Jokic adjustment. But what was the adjustment that the USA made? They put LeBron on Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what ended up working.
Which was kind of funny, man. Because, like, he's still a anchor and still points and still kind of get lazy. So it was kind of weird on those, like, just like him not flattening out, but watching a lot. Because he's not as fast as he used to be. Like, 28-year-old LeBron would punch a lot of shit and he could make up for, like, getting over there late. But there's a lot of moments where the shit I would see in the Lakers where he's just like, go. You know what I mean? Or a guy behind you and I'm yelling at the TV like, yo, it's somebody behind you. And he's overcommitting because he doesn't trust guys. It was so many times I was watching that and I'm like, yo, he really don't trust that dude out there. Oh. And then I've done that as a player too, where I just don't trust my big and I'm just going to go over there and help. And it's going to get me yelled at. Matic would kill me every time because he'd say, you're leaving a 40% shooter. Like, why? And it's like, because I don't trust the big. But he's like, duh, stupid. They want you to overcommit. They want you to
What did
overcommit.
he actually say? What did Coach really say?
Trayvon, are you stupid? You got shit for brains? Go get him. Daniel, go get him. He would say some shit like that because he'll be like, guys, what does Corey Billingsley, because we knew everybody's shooting percentage. What does Corey Billingsley shoot from the three? You guys would be like,
I love this. You guys had homework assignment.
43.
Test. Yeah.
But it'd be like, yo, we had guys that shoot between 40 and 46%. Trayvon, why are you digging into the big? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Stay home. Stay home, bruh.
Yeah.
Stay home. And
what episode
like,
did we do the Edmatic? We did the Edmatic episode.
Yeah, I'll pull that up. Bend those fucking knees.
Yeah.
Yo.
Whatever it is, for those who haven't listened to Trey's storytelling on that, it is all time. This coach, Edmatic.
Greatest
Gotta go
episode.
listen to
The
that.
Fighting Words episode.
You know what's
OG
crazy?
Pod.
If Coach Matic would have coached Team USA, they would have had a win margin by fucking 30 points.
No,
But
no,
so
they
but
wouldn't have
Jason
any
Tatum,
legs.
hey,
They
but
wouldn't have
Jason
any
Tatum,
legs.
you know what's crazy? Jason Tatum still wouldn't have played.
Yeah.
That's but he would have had a valid reason because, like, if you're not responding to him, like he would have told LeBron, you think you're so bad. Take the damn headband off. We're not prima donnas out here.
God.
Couple things we got to hit on
I mean-
USA France before we go. Did you guys see the French announcer talking about Steph Curry hitting those shots?
The devil. Called my man
Diable
the
De
devil.
Curry! Ce Diable De Curry! Haunting Team France and the entire country of France.
Love
the
it.
Diable, the devil
McDonald's
of Curry.
McDonald's is going to discontinue the curry flavor, baby. In France.
Wow, that's some good
I'll take 'em.
nationalism right there. Yeah. Can we get that in America? Because we don't have that out here. And
Uh,
then the other one, look, man, you got to talk about Rudy. We're not getting out of here without talking about Rudy Gobert.
Go ahead. Talk to me.
I got a question. Hey, Rudy, were you benched, or was this a strategic reason why you like? Are you hurt, or maybe it's emotional hurt that you didn't play in the biggest moments, and France playing for your home country, you were on the bench for most of it. Are you okay?
This bench, no, I was not on the bench, Tom. I don't know if you heard, but my finger, mon doigt, je suis allé au docteur. The doctor, he operated on me. I was on the table d'opération, the operation table, and they fixed my finger.
You played 12 minutes in the finals, so like you were cleared to play.
Oui. I played, but je joue pour mon country, for my country. Vive la France. I do anything for the France, what they ask for me. Mais c'était une stratégie, okay? We need to get Victor. Victor, he needs the center. If I am there, Victor, he's not so good. It's more generosity. It's my generosity to Victor to let him flourish. Et quand le Joel Embiid, il est venu, he fell on me. I needed to hold his legs because le Joel Embiid, he stomp les personnes. Et I did not want him to stomp on me. Okay. It was for my security. Et après le match, après le Diable De Curry est venu. Victor, he was crying, okay, because
you didn't seem to be crying.
C'est son première fois, okay.
Yeah.
Moi, Rudy Gobert, je sais qu'est-ce qui se passe. Je sais. I know what is happening. That is why I wink at the camera. I wink. Le Rudy Gobert. I am très confident. I am very confident. I was winking at Anthony Edwards like, oh, I let you have this one, okay? Because my finger.
Okay. Are you going to do the same, just propping up Victor in 28? What are your goals?
Victor, he does not need me to prop. I let him play his game. They don't want me to play my game. If I play my game, we have the gold.
What is your game?
It was my finger. With my finger, I play my
game. What is your
game.
game? Is it making excuses?
What is my game? The depoy, the defensive player. You think this LeBron is going to score 90% at the rim avec moi, Rudy Gobert? No, absolument pas. No.
Wait, but
he need to play more defense on the wing. He need to guard the wing. And so moi, Rudy Gobert, je peux être le centre. I can be the center. I can guard the rim.
Are you saying that Victor Wembanyama can't guard the rim?
Not as good as me.
Wow.
C'est simple. It's simple. I give the wink to Team USA. Good job. I see you next time. I see you in Los Angeles.
Thank you, Rudy Gobert. We look forward to hearing your excuses in 2028 in Los Angeles.
Excuses? No.
Yes.
No. No.
I mean, you played 12 minutes in the final, so I can't really see how the surgery on your finger limited you and you were cleared to play. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here, and good luck to your upcoming season with Anthony Edwards in Minnesota this year. Congratulations on silver, and I'm sorry it didn't work out the way you wanted in France. We've hit everything Olympics wise except on the American side. Except Trey, can you explain the Ant Edwards Noah Lyles beef for those listening and want to hear the sneaker battles and the brand battles expert, the brand correspondent here, Trey Edwards?
I was always out on it. Now I do get it. He did back up his, what he said he was going to do as 100 meters. Until he went out and said the 100 meters really wasn't his thing. Is a side chick, and the main chick was his 200 meters, and then he lost, and he got a bronze, and then he laid there, and they got a wheelchair like he was Paul Pierce. And
after going crazy before the race.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yes,
I don't think I've seen anybody ever do that on the Olympic stage for any event before you win.
It went to his head. He was definitely powered by arrogance and ego. Got humbled. Then they put out a report that he had COVID. Then he says he didn't have COVID during the third quarter of the men's game.
Great Friday afternoon news dump there. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, you couldn't wait. You know what I mean? Oh, that coincidentally. Then a clip of an interview talking about how Adidas invited him to an Anthony Edwards shoe release party and he declined. And then he also said this guy he hasn't been to the NBA finals or won a championship. So, why does he have a signature shoe? And when I'm, a world champion, I'm the fastest person, things of that nature. And then he comes out and he says, there's been some things said about me, that hold on, I'm gonna read it because he put it out today. He tried to there's a rumor going around that I did not go to Anthony Edwards shoe release because he didn't deserve it. That is not the case. He definitely deserves his shoe. He is an amazing player. The problem was finding time based on my prior engagements. Congratulations on becoming an Olympic champion.
Not a world champion.
So, despite that, again, cost the 4x1 because he didn't run on that, and then different things of that nature. But then also there's a video of him partying, right? Now there's a whole nother conversation in itself where Sha'Carri and another runner, I forgot her name, sorry, were denied access in a certain thing because of whatever that was, but they were letting this guy run if he allegedly had COVID. You know what I mean? Putting other athletes at risk. And now that you don't have COVID, and now that you're out partying, it's just something weird about him. You know what I mean? And shout outs to him. He is the world's fastest 100-meter runner. We'll give him that. He backed it up. But my problem is you dumping on other people and making it seem like you're holier than thou. Like, you can't sell a sneaker, brother.
Yes.
That's another thing too that like again, people think certain shoes are selling out. The Anthony Edwards shoe ain't selling out. The KD shoe ain't selling out. LeBron shoe ain't selling out. You get what I'm saying? It is hard to sell a shoe because imagination is dead. Our age group, we believe that the Reebok pump would make us jump higher. We believe that Grant Hill drinks Sprite and we, can fly. We believe that, if you wore the Jordans, you're going to play like Mike. You know what I'm saying? You believe that you put on the Iverson shoe, you could do the Iverson crossover. There was imagination sold into those commercials. And now this generation has seen everything because of the internet. So you can't be wowed by much. Like that part of the advertising is done. Like you can't storytell and say, all right, I'm going to make you, hey, I'm going to make you into grandmama. Like that won't fly. You get what I'm saying? It's like he's silly. Why is he wearing a dress? What is the concept of this thing? Like he looks stupid. You know what I mean? And also, fame is different now too.
I think also, isn't this just a cultural thing, business thing? Is just the people don't want to take the risk on a grandmama campaign. It's a lot safer to just play within the lines and realize that like, hey, how many executives or business executives are going to want to take that risk when there's so much money to be had in just not taking the risk and just like coming out with the retros or coming out with like a new little penny, like going back to like.
But that's the thing too, right? In those scenarios, sometimes you don't own that IP. So it ain't even really like, oh, I could go back and use it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Or like, oh, this would be a cool idea. Cause it's like, stop being lazy. You know what I mean? Like as far as the creative, you know what I mean? Like, come on, give us something new. Like I did see the new the new Anthony Edwards spot where they took the Kevin Garnett when he was with Adidas. He had switched. And y'all probably don't remember, but he got the whole world in his hands and people are climbing on his body and he's just stacking them. So they use that choir for the AE. You know what I mean? But it's also a spot mixed in with the LeBron where Bernie Mac's in there.
Yep.
The second coming. You know what I mean? But that's the beauty of it, man. You know what I mean? The past is the reference. The creators are using the archives. They're digging deep. But it's just really, like I said, it's really hard to sell a sneaker nowadays just because of the thing. And I understand where you're coming from as far as the safe part, but just even guys just saying no. When the last time you seen a LeBron commercial for his shoe, his actual shoe?
A long time.
You know why? Because he says no.
Yeah.
Hey, we got this idea. We got this idea where we want to bring the LeBrons back, but like now you're wise and no. Hey, we got this idea where
does the Father Time stuff count, or is that just general Nike?
It was just general. It wasn't like a sneaker. It was more of like, hey, you're going into year 20 and like this is amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And let's create a campaign of like how you're still dominant at this age. You know what I mean? Like it ain't no.
It ain't the LeBron Father Times coming soon.
Now zoom in on the 21 and let's really show it. But also we have Nick DePaula now. So we're not like getting the Ahmad Rashad. Michael Jordan is wearing a new sneaker. It looks like, he told me yesterday that, he's come out in November.
Maybe we need that. Maybe we need Nick DePaula on the broadcast. Guys, I got breaking news here. LeBron is wearing
bring him onto the Amazon crew. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, look, that's a new bag. But again, he's there at tip off, giving you every brand, what type of shoe, the nickname. He has all the specs before. He knows when somebody's gonna wear the shoe. He knows what time. The embargo of being able to post the actual picture. The Getty image where the photographer is just giving you the picture. Like you got everything versus we used to watch games and that's when we would discover that next shoe was coming out. That was the advertising. March Madness, they would let college kids debut the Foam Posit or whatever. And you're like, ooh, bro, when them come out, because they already showing you performance. Don't let nobody cook in a nice shoe. Because now you're influenced to like, yo, I'm gonna look like that. That's no more. I think it's a record number of like active players wearing the Kobe 4 right now. Pro
Well, that's
Pro.
what I was gonna say. Is that not only do you have to compete with all the other new shoes, you still have to compete with the Kobe's and the LeBrons and the Jordans. Like those, they're still making shoes. And you can also get any old shoe that they've ever had.
Yeah.
I think they need to just stop with the old people and bring in new flavors. But I
Tom,
would say in
You're the one
24,
saying
in
run back the
28,
old guys in 28.
in 28, we're going to bring back LeBron, Steph, and KD, and we'll make an exception, a carve out for them.
We'll bring back their shoes.
Grandfather time. It's not father time anymore. It's grandfather time, baby. 2028, LeBron will be back with KD and Steph. All right.
You heard it
All right.
first.
Real quick,
we're going to
Alexis
talk.
Hall has a good point, which is we wouldn't be talking about Noah Lyles if he didn't act crazy. So
Yeah, but this is a Lance Stevenson argument. It's like Lance Stevenson, like if he's crazy out here, and yet he got washed out of the league in like 4 years. Okay.
well, I hope that Noah Lyles has an
Learn from
uneventful
it.
offseason. We don't hear about him for the next 3 years because I feel like we won't. But you know, he did get his name out there. I'll give him credit for that. I don't like him, but
Yeah.
I know who he is now.
I think, like I said, it would have been. I wouldn't have said shit if he would have cleared with gold. Like just had a gold.
Yeah, if he had the 200 and won that too.
Yeah, I
then
would be
we'd
like,
eating
let
it.
me.
Yeah.
I would be like, yo, let me shut the fuck up because I clearly
Mhm.
don't know what's happening. But
Mhm.
he just lost,
didn't.
and he tried
Yeah.
to blame it on COVID
Yeah.
and another shit. If he wouldn't even did that celebration, I would have felt a little bit more sympathy. But bro came out like, doing all this shit, and then when he got
Yep.
out there, I'm like, oh, he didn't even get silver.
Mm.
Like, yo, we wasn't even on none of that. We was still gonna root for you regardless, bro. But the idea that you saying, yeah, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. I did the 100-meter that way, but like the 200, that's what I really do.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? That's like me telling Tom, yo, I could drink this whole Sprite bottle, bro, in one setting for $20. You know what I mean? Now, Tom, y'all both know I can't do this because the soda gonna push back at some point while you're trying to chug. You know what I'm saying? The soda gonna push back. It's gonna kick my chest in like pressure, like jumping.
It's gonna
in a deep
come
pool.
out of your mouth just like
And my
when
nose.
Edwards tried to spray the champagne. It's gonna be just not a good situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bad. And then I go out there and y'all like, I knew he couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just woofing for no reason. You're the fastest man in 100 meters. Respect to you, bro. It would have been fine. And he could have humbly came in and say, you know what? I'm gonna try to do the same thing for his 200 meters. And everybody would have been like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? But when you like, man, 200 meters ain't shit. I got this. And bro, smoke you. And then when he did the press conference, he was like, yeah, I'll never be the face of track because I'm not loud like Noah. And I gasped because I ain't never seen nobody just, chop somebody at the throat like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? It was just like, yo, you loud and arrogant, bro, and you lost. And it's a bad look for the sport. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never seen anybody. Well, I don't say never, but I don't remember. And the comments could kind of chime in on a track runner, track star that was that arrogant before races outside. Like even Usain Bolt wasn't like he talking the trash.
Yeah.
No, but he wasn't talking the trash and insulting opponents before. He would taunt you mid-race. You know what I mean? Like clearly this is a clearly
was incredible. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But she backed it up, bro.
She backed it up, right?
She backed it up. Like, all right, like I'm going cool. I didn't deliver in this end. I still medaled, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna show up and get a gold. And I'm gonna let my performance do the talking for me.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the Ryan Lochte zone. Like he's in the zone of an Olympic athlete with an outsized personality who occasionally delivers, but not always. The best Olympic athletes, I mean, do it and then talk shit. Like Simone talking shit in her way, like passive aggressively tweeting. Like that's way more understandable and supportable. What Noah Lyles did, absolutely not. But hey, there is one Olympic athlete we have to talk to before we close out these Olympics. Who is my hero? now and forever. It's Raygun.
Yeah. Raygun.
Gotta talk about Raygun, man. She took the world
was
by
this?
storm on Friday afternoon.
Is this the Australian woman?
The Australian
Man,
breakdancing
fuck her.
lady.
Y'all seen that shit that just came out? Fuck her.
What'd
Y'all
she
see
do?
it? Oh my God. Hold on, bro. I'm sending it
Oh.
to y'all. I had to send it to my Australian friend. It pissed me off. This shit was a social experiment.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what happened. All right, so she is a 36-year-old professor who is
Doctor.
from Australia, and because we need to do this whole like participation trophy thing where every region gets a rep. So Oceania, Okina.
Oceania.
Had to have a break dancer go to the Olympics, the Summer Olympics. She qualified even though she's like 90th in the world. She qualified to go to the breakdancing competition, the breaking competition, because there ain't no break dancers in Australia. And so she goes there and does the kangaroo, a literal kangaroo dance.
She did a lot of things.
She shouldn't have been there.
So Trey, what you sent is probably from her like thesis, because her doctorate isn't studying breakdance, and here's the title: The Ethics of Living a Double Life, Rethinking Ownership, Authenticity, and Identity in Hip Hop Culture, written by a 36-year-old Australian woman named Rachel Gunn. So yeah, I mean, Tom, breaking is a new event.
Yep.
And I think the Oceania region, maybe there wasn't as much competition as there could have been, and that's how she got in. I understand Trey's objection to her. I need the footage of her dancing on repeat for the rest of my life. It was hilarious.
So bad.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, watching her dance. Because she went for it.
I fuck with Dominica if we gonna holler. Basically post anybody. Dominica had the do-rag cape out like Tom. You feel me?
The Lithuanian girl.
Yeah. Shout out to Dominica, Lil Nika.
Well, she was actually good. That's the difference.
Yeah, I'm highlighting that. That's what I'm talking about. Highlighting this thing person. Yeah. She just out there bullshitting. This is some Saturday Night Live spoof shit, which I hope they do a skit on her ass.
100%.
But no, I don't want them to do a skit because they're gonna make her popular. So fuck that.
Look at number 2 here.
Oh
That's kangaroo dance. She did a kangaroo dance.
Shit was some bullshit.
Yeah. Can we get off some takes on the Dragon, House of the Dragon, before we go?
Yes.
Sure.
So House of the Dragon wrapped up last week, 8-episode season.
We want to do this for the Patreon, or we're good? We're good here.
This is Patreon. I mean, just keep it going. This is the Patreon will be divided later, but the general consensus, Tom, was not unlike what you said. Where were the dragon fights? That was everyone's reaction. Was they were expecting another big action set piece to close out the season. I think if they had delivered that, everybody would have walked away a little happier and thinking a little more fondly of House of the Dragon. It was an 8-episode season after a 10-episode season, and I do wonder why that is. I wonder if writer's strike caused that. I wonder if they ran out of budget. I wonder what was the reasoning for that, because that was an excellent 8th episode if we had 2 more.
Maze, we need to end the whole juicing the stats of the runtime of the show with a little post-game interview with the directors and the actors. Juicing. There's 15 minutes left in the episode, and I was like, oh, let's go. Here comes the dragon fight. Let's go. And then it starts to do this like wrap-up montage, and then I'm like, wait a minute. It just faded to no. That's the end of the episode? Because they baked in the 10 minutes of credits and then post-game interviews into the runtime of the show. Get out of here with that. I'm done with that. It's messing with our experience. When you look at the clock, we got 15 minutes left, and then the show ends. Is the biggest letdown if it was I know there's only 30 seconds left. Oh, we're not going to get a dragon scene. Fine. I would have been upset, but I wouldn't be as mad. Like I'd be like bummed, but I wouldn't be mad. I'm mad this morning. I am mad after watching that finale because of that stupid 15 minutes of post-game credits that were baked into the runtime. Get out of here with that.
That's been on every episode this season.
I know. But like,
were you this mad 3 weeks ago?
Yo,
yes.
Where was it? I just wanted the action, man. That's all I wanted.
That's clearly what the people wanted.
This is what we talked about on Pack Your Knives with the Bear. We did the same thing. Arnovitz and I recap the Bear every episode. You can listen to it, packyourknives.com or on Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts, Pack Your Knives. Same shit, was just like, nothing happened. Nothing happened. We were waiting for something big to happen, and then in the finale, we're expecting it to happen, and then the show ends. And I feel like the creators and the showrunners and the writers are almost trolling us at this point, that we'll watch anything through the end of it just because it'll be part of the social conversation or the culture, House of the Dragon, the Bear, and then nothing happens. Nothing happened in either of those two shows.
Two counterpoints. Because, look, I agree. I was expecting some action. It didn't happen. Got it. I think everybody felt that way. This season, they really pitched as like Alicent and Rhaenyra. Those were the two on the branding and the marketing and all that stuff. And what the show gave us, which wasn't in the book, which wasn't in Fire and Blood, is two scenes with Alicent and Rhaenyra. There's the one where Rhaenyra goes to the Sept, and they talk about the prophecy, and they realize that maybe King Viserys said something else when he was dying. Then
Which was cool. That was a good scene. I like that scene. That was a cool scene.
And then you have the scene in the finale where Alicent comes to Rhaenyra and is like, I'm ready to bow down, let you take King's Landing. I just want to get out of here with my daughter. And so both of those scenes,
murder my son. Yes.
Murder my son. I will let you murder my son. I'm good. Yeah. Both of those scenes, like, that showed what the showrunners were trying to do with this season, which is, we want to make it about the two queens, the two women, the girls that grew up together. That is the big payoff for us, is like them talking it out in a slightly improbable way. We didn't get the payoff. I understand.
You don't know what
the other thing to remember, Tom, is remember Game of Thrones? Remember a little show called Game of Thrones? Remember how they didn't have any action scenes really for like 3-4 years? And how when Robb Stark was fighting his war across the North and the Riverlands, we never saw it because they didn't have the budget for it. Like, I'm not going to say that they should always do it that way, but what did you think of episode 7 with the dragon seeding and all that? Because that was very expensive to shoot when Hugh the Hammer and Ulf take their dragons.
I really liked the visuals, but the story didn't grab me because I knew those two guys were going to get the dragons. It was the same reason why I had trouble with the with one of the, I think it's Rhaenyra's daughter, and I'm so bad with the actual like tree of the characters, but she goes off in the wilderness and she's
Rhaena,
she's like looking, she's like trying to survive, and like, oh my God, there's a dragon. Obviously that was going to happen. She was going to get the dragon, find the dragon. And so they're just what I knew they had to kind of like build some character development so that we could understand who those guys were when they did get chosen for the dragon. But it lost so much of the tension because you knew those guys were going to get it. And so I thought those scenes were cool, but predictable. And so there just wasn't a lot of element of surprise in those scenes. And so I mean, amazing visuals, how beautiful it was where Rhaenyra is standing there and the bronze dragon or whatever, Vermithian or whatever his name is.
Vermithor, yeah.
Vermithor, almost. Right behind her, and then just torches everybody, and then everyone scrambles. But you knew what was going to happen. The two guys who we've been talking about kind of confusingly, like, why do we care about these characters? Why do we care? They ended up riding the dragon. So I think the Alicent Rhaenyra reunion there at the end was surprising because you never assumed that Allison would just be like, yeah, I'm out. And you can take King's Landing. And like, I'm not going to say it, but you can also kill my son and assume the throne. And that was an incredible moment, but we also didn't get to see whether Rhaenyra was going to follow through with that plan. Like, she was opening the door and we didn't get to see what Rhaenyra's choice was there. And so, yes, that will be a cliffhanger for the next season. And do we know what, like, can you explain to me what is the future of the show? Like, what are the
4 seasons, and we won't get it next year. It'll be 2026. And that I think is the biggest bummer of it all.
They keep thinking people gonna live that long. Like, I hate that shit. Like,
don't worry, LeBron will be starting.
LeBron will be back. I knew I was
House
going
of the Dragon season 3. He'll be riding the dragon.
No, but here's our thing, right? I look at it in this scenario, and I'm just kind of like, Grand Theft Auto 6, and thank God I lived to play college football at 25. But I be thinking about people that be like, yo, coming soon, 2029. Motherfuckers be like, bro, like, it's just way too much shit going on, bro, to be expecting, like, just to be waiting. You think people got all this fucking time in the world to just be waiting on a show? Like, bro, give us this shit now. Now.
Yep. Yo, one thing that I will admit to doing after the show, after I watched the finale last night, I Googled, is Daemon the Night King?
Oh, that's an interesting, completely wrong guess. But yeah, I like where your head's at.
Because he saw the Night King in his vision at the Godswood. Well,
that was my favorite. Okay, so the scene with Allison and Rhaenyra was awesome. The scene where Rhaenyra shows up to Daemon is like, hey, husband, you still fucking with me, or what's going on? I see you got this huge army. And then he kneels before her. That was a great scene. But the vision was the dopest shit. Yeah. Because you got the antler man, the green man under the tree in the courtyard. That's a nice little tease for something we haven't seen in Game of Thrones at all.
What is the antler man? I was creeped out by that. So
the antler man is just like lurking there when he walks in, and then he disappears. And so the antler man is a green man. So there's this island in the lake next to Harrenhal, Tom, called it's called like the God's Eye Lake, and it's the Isle of Faces. And so it's overrun with forest. And so the children of the forest, who are the little like fairy people from the end of Game of Thrones, that's where they live. And the green men are like their soldiers. So what this show seems more willing to do is like explore that, and maybe we'll go there next season or something, which hasn't been done. Like we've never been there. No human has ever been there and come back. So that'd be cool. But then the vision happens. Obviously, he sees all of Game of Thrones. He sees the Night King. He sees Daenerys. He gets the cliff notes. But then guess who shows up at the end of the vision? A little wireless upload to the Weirwood network. It's Helena, Aemond and Aegon's weird sister,
right?
The queen from King's Landing, and she can just go there in her head.
Yeah,
that's dope.
My wife was asking the same thing. Was like, can she see the future? And yeah, I guess so.
So she's been cryptically dropping prophecies all show long. She essentially. Yeah, as Adam Jameson said, she's a dragon dreamer. But the fact that she can get to the Weirwood network wirelessly is my favorite thing. Because like we've seen Bran when he's become the Third Eye Raven, he has to be plugged in. He has to be hardwired in. He has to basically sit in the Weirwood tree. Whereas this girl, she's got a roaming plan. She can do whatever she wants.
I did not buy that Aemon would turn around Vhagar in that moment. I wasn't buying that. I thought
you didn't think he was shook off 3 dragons?
I don't think he was shook. I think he's got Vhagar. He was mad, and instead of going after the other dragons, he goes and blows up that shore point or whatever it's called. Yep. And I wasn't buying that. I wanted more Aemon. I think he's an awesome character. He's really fun to watch. Every scene he's in, I'm like, all right, I'm in. Damon in his like Tony Soprano dreamlike state. I wasn't totally
lithium.
in. Yeah, I'm like I liked the scene with him and his brother holding the crown, which was kind of cool. The it crushes everybody who has it, and then you look at Allison, who doesn't want the crown, who wants to give up the whole thing. Those themes were pretty strong there at the end, and Rhaenyra is like, I want it, or I was given it, and I deserve it, and this is the life I lead. I was what is Rhaenyra's
Dragon?
no, who is
Her son?
her number 2, her Marina?
Corliss? Oh, are you
No.
talking about Mysaria, the whisperer, mistress of whispers?
Mysaria. I want more of her in every episode. I love the way she talks. I like the way her role, her whole like rise to the whole thing, and the weird Rhaenyra makeout session, which was super weird, but also there was a lot of sexual tension already between the two of them. So it kind of like
that's going to get more complicated, Tom, if Damon comes back, because Damon and Mysaria used to smash.
Yeah.
It ain't
Now
gonna
we
be
got a little love
complicated.
triangle.
It ain't gonna get complicated, man.
Nothing is off limits.
He about to shoot. He about to shoot the 3, bro. He gonna shoot. Hey, he gonna be a corner boy. You know what I mean? He know, man. He know how to play these games, bro. He just gonna be like, oh, okay, this was easier than I thought. Good play.
This is how this is going down.
Or she been working for him the whole time.
You know, it's yeah. There's that.
Who are you loyal to for real?
Yep.
We're gonna get that in 2026 when we're all dead.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah. Trey, who was your favorite character this season?
I don't know. The black kid with the dreads was pissing me off.
Adam?
Bro. The one that's the riding dragon. Yeah, he was pissing me off because he just looked like he not supposed to be there.
Adam who took sea smoke. Her sea smoke took him, I suppose.
Probably, I ain't gonna lie. What was it, Amen? That's the one with the patch, right?
The one eye.
Yeah, I fuck with him. He a little asshole.
Yeah, he is.
He look like he belonged in Metal Gear Solid. He's definitely one of them villain characters. I really was fucking with him because he just was, but I thought he was gonna die, bro. I thought he was gonna get like some real action, like he was gonna eat his humble pie, and then Aegon was gonna, return looking like Two-Face as a king.
I mean,
again.
I think he did eat his humble pie. One of the things I thought was so cool is, he burns his brother, and sort of ambiguously, but not that ambiguously, burns his brother, and then he plays it perfectly.
Yo, I saw that shit.
Yeah. Helena said, "You know what? I saw what you did," but he plays it perfectly in the sense that he doesn't even have to say anything. There's that great scene in the small council where he's just laying back, waiting, and everyone goes around the table and votes for him over Allison, and Allison gets crushed emotionally, but he played that perfectly. And then just about every single thing he did once he had the power as Prince Regent, he fucked up. So it's like he played all the cards right to get the power, but then once he got the power, he didn't have a plan for that. He wasn't ready. Yeah. And so he's fucked the small folk over. They hate him. They're starving. They're dying. He needed Otto Hightower back to help him strategize. We don't know where Otto is. He's in a cage somewhere. He's somebody's prisoner. So I love that with Aemon, where it's like he's been so good at scheming and working his way up, and then once he got to the seat of power, fell apart.
Jason Taymond.
Ooh.
Became the world champ, became the finals champ, and then kind of didn't know what to do with it.
Damn.
That is brutal, Tom.
What? He's got Vhagar. He's got we're the champs. We've got the best team in the
Vhagar
NBA.
Is the rest of the Celtics.
Yeah, Vhagar is Brad Stevens' crew. The whole team. He's got Kristaps. He's got Drew Holiday. He's got Derek White. He's got Peyton Pritchard. He's got Sam Hauser making $50 million. Yeah, that his supporting cast is his Vhagar.
Do you have a favorite character from the season, Tom? Is it also Amond?
Miss Arya. I love Miss Arya.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
She was awesome.
Do we have like I've been getting a little bit more into Arrested Development recently. Do we have like do we have like a dunce dragon, like a dumb dragon? Do we have one of those? It'd be kind of fun if there was like a dragon that was just like the dumb dragon.
That's interesting. I don't think we do. I think Vagar's kind of the dumb dragon. I think Vagar's just so big and old. I think the thing I love about the dragons is like the neck waddle.
Oh, the
on
neck
Vagar.
waddle, yeah.
She's a really old girl, you know. She's just bigger than everybody else. Like she's lazy. She wants to sleep in the forest, but I don't think there's a dumb one because most of them are pretty young and like kind of, you know, on the come up.
Yeah, there was a lot of bastards, a lot of blonde bastards out there. And good, I like that little turn of events with the Lannister dude who was like, you know, getting his ass beat in the mud wrestling. And then that lady was like, yo, I love your shit. Like, I kind of want you to be the father of my babies. And he was like, whoa, okay. And she's like, I want you to meet my wives. I was like, well, that's a plot twist. That was interesting.
Yep. How many of them do you think he knocked up before they left?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Is when he was on the ship, I was like, I don't think he's. Did he Magic Johnson this thing where he's like, I can't be in bed before war.
I think he closed the deal, man. I think he did it.
Oh yeah, how many times?
He left some Lannister seeds behind. I mean, I don't know. How many wives do you think she has? I think probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
but I think there's a lot of great characters this season, a lot of great performances. I think Emma Darcy as Rhaenyra is like awesome. I think she's so good. But I think my favorite character this season was Jacaerys, the pouty prince himself. He had a great run at the beginning where he's brokering deals with the North and
Josh Giddey,
with the twins, Josh Giddey, and he's doing a lot of pouting and and he comes up with the idea to go get the bastards, but then also he's not too keen once it goes through. Once again, it's like got the plan, but then not too happy with the outcome. So
Adam, who's Shreko Lohar? Who's that?
That's the pirate that mud wrestled.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just met him at the end of the
end
of the season. But yeah, I thought it was a really good season. I obviously understand everybody's got blue balls about no action, no dragons, but in 2 years when it comes back, I think we'll be happy to jump on board, except for Trey.
You know, I'm not gonna be here. Nah, man. Shouts to Game of Thrones, man. They held it down, bro. That's one of the series I'm rocking with because they coming out with a whole nother side.
Yeah, they got Dunk and Egg. The Night of the Seven Kingdoms will be next year, so there'll be a whole new spin-off.
What's that?
It's basically like it's a knight and a prince, another Aegon, a little kid Aegon, and they go on like they go on a quest. They essentially walk across the Seven Kingdoms. So they're going to be going on adventures. It's like a road movie, like a buddy
Bran
comedy.
And Hodor?
Like more like Arya and the Hound in that season where they're like on the road together. But and it's slightly before Game of Thrones, so it's like it's not as far back in time as House of the Dragon. I think it's like 50 to 70 years before Game of Thrones starts. So there will be a couple like connections, like the Three-Eyed Raven character, Brynden Rivers, he'll be in Night of the Seven Kingdoms. But yeah, it's not like they're going away for good. But House of the Dragon is taking a nice little slumber, like Vagar.
Oh yeah, shouts to Vagar. Nice little gullet there.
She's an old girl.
Yeah. I liked House of Dragon. I didn't like. My biggest complaint is really just the time on the fucking clock.
Of course. It's not that they did anything bad. It's just what they didn't do. That's the problem. Same with the bear, right?
Did you sense that as you were watching? Like, we're not gonna get a dragon.
As soon as we started with my man in with the Pirates, as soon as we went with Tylen Lannister and the Pirates, I was like, this is a weird way to kick things off. And then we went to him like 3 more times and had 3 more scenes with him there. I was like, all right. Doesn't necessarily feel like a finale, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not mad about it, but that is what everybody texted me. They were like, where's the action? Where's the fights? Where's the dragons? We didn't get it.
Wait, who? Adam Jameson. How can I not like ice
Tom
chips?
loves ice chips.
I loved ice chips. What is that? Are you thinking I'm Kevin?
Yeah.
We all look alike?
He must. That must be it. But yeah, go check out. We talked about the finale of The Bear. That's on this feed right before the OG pod or on the Pack Your Knives feed. Check that out. We closed out the season of The Bear. We're closing out season of the House of the Dragon. And we're closing out this episode of Coming Home since you guys finally came home. We did it.
Thank you all. It's good to be back, and we'll talk soon.